One, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not. It's
and if
not.
you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her. No woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean, black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay.
So what that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying
ignore
that I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her, because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you, and she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
What's up with it, YouTube? It's your boy Vick Reacts. Bumming at you with a brand new video, right, man? Today we got a banger, man. Today we got Dr. Umar Johnson calling out black men for not being accountable, man. Look, if y'all seen that intro, y'all basically know how the video gonna go. I have no clue right now. This came out a year ago on Daily Wrap Up Crew podcast. I still haven't seen it. I seen it now. So let's see what they talking about, man. Without further ado, if y'all like that intro that played at the beginning, man, be sure to like the video. Because if you like the intro, you're going to like the video. Comment you got something to say about the video or me. Subscribe if you know mess with the content, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
So speaking of that, you know, I seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism, because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, you know, obviously, you know, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, you know, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, you know, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So,
that's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have two daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest would be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband, because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? Damn. So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
Damn.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you know, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with black women. I mean, with white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's
somewhere else.
In Africa.
Absolutely.
So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like, if you feel
I
like
tell sisters all the time, go to Africa.
So
I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married,
I'll take sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also
saying
tell
that
black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Oh, God.
Why the fuck it's not tolerated here? That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though. Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down, Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be a man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course she's going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father, but guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand as well. I ain't gonna lie. I see what he's saying. But at some point in time, we have to understand that women makes those choices to go lay with certain men over others. They have the options of men to pick from. They choose to pick the wrong one. Then when they choose to pick the wrong one, they choose to do it again and again. At some point, some of these ladies got to look at other people's experiences, other lady experiences, and see the ladies the men that they ended up with, and see that the man that they didn't end up with. Look at the same men that having baby mamas. It's all the same type of man. There's different types of men, just like there's different type of women. At the end of the day, you have to understand that as a woman and as a man, that the person you choose might not be the type of man or woman for you. Like, that's why communication is very important. And honesty is important as well. Like, talk to the person, get to know them, get to understand what they actually looking for out of this relationship. What's their love language? You feel me? Shit like that is very important to understand because that tells you more about the person.
Understand that, but she needs.
If we was loving our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
There's always gonna be Pookies and Ray Rays. White people got those. There's always gonna be degenerates in every race. That it don't mean nothing. They still gonna pick them. Even if it was one or two. If it was one or two degenerates, I feel like it would be worse. Because most of those black women gonna circle between those same two niggas. Just like in the animal kingdom. The alpha male get all the bitches. So whatever the female find attractive is gonna be what they gravitate towards. So I get what he's saying. If they wasn't no Pookies or Ray Rays out, then they wouldn't be able to pick them. But as long as it's one or two, they're gonna pick them because that's what black women find attractive. It is. I'm sorry.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection. Wow. Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right? That still don't give me a right to disrespect her because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. Queen, but when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources,
okay,
and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash. He's shining a little bit more. His access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not. It's
and if
not.
you're constantly running into that type of woman,
Yeah.
then the problem is you because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why is
why
that?
that same energy for women? You just again, you have
Because
the man
we have the
responsible.
conversation as men.
Yeah.
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
All right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No, as men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only, that is where we should be focused on.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only
If
up
you
to her.
don't put a seed in her,
There's no
nothing
decision to be
else
made.
happens. And no
Facts.
woman can make you put a seed in her.
Right.
So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean, it's,
All right. So, did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was
put in?
systemic.
All right. So, how if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault? How are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Because
I'll tell you
men,
why.
bro.
Because black men, as the leaders of the community. Now,
we can't be leaders.
here's the
Women
question
not
we got to make.
accepting that.
Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right? I'm going to fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative.
That's
It's
not
dangerous.
what we're making
That's not,
excuses
that's
for.
what we're not. I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I work too
And
hard
I'm
in
going
my
to go back
life.
to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be.
They will always exist no matter what, bro. It's always gonna be degenerates. Every race has them, bro. God damn.
Do you see that?
Stop
She
saying
don't
that
get a
shit.
Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie, and that's what we're trying to say.
She wouldn't have
I
had a
worked-
Pookie if we
I
didn't
worked
allow
too
one.
hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
But Dr. Umar, we
Men's supposed to make raise the boys.
Right. We
Rites
as
of
men,
passage.
we as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
What you mean, mentoring them? Now I mean, he's a great father.
I ain't
My
talking
brother
that's
is a great
individual.
father.
That's good, but that's individualism. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now?
I believe
Nothing.
We're being
but
a voice.
talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take
It's
it as
not
that.
going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more.
Well, the athletes moved out the hood too. What do you mean? No, bro. The reason they toe up is because they don't got male father figures around them. We all know this. And if they had male father figures around them, they 9 times out of 10 wouldn't end up that way. You know what I'm saying? So I do get what Umar's saying about placing the blame on the men because it is our fault that we not in the households. We not trying to be in the households. I'm talking about as a whole. I'm not talking about me or you or anybody else that's gonna find offense with what I'm saying right now. I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole, black people is not doing, black men especially not doing what they need to do. And don't get me wrong, black women, you know what I'm saying, they gotta learn how to play the role or whatever the case may be. But that's why you date young. Date young and you won't have this problem. Date young and you not gonna find these faults in these women that you speaking of. Date young and you, I'm sorry, but you won't. Me as a nigga, at the age I am, I'm 29, bro. If I go to a 21-year-old or 22-year-old and she got options of hood nigga, she still gonna choose me because I'm set up better in life and I talk a way better game than they do. I know more than they do. I got more education than they do. And I'm not all about the money like they are. I use it wisely. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a difference. Like I could outclass them niggas. But like if I was their age and shit, around their age, and I didn't have the stuff I have now, of course I couldn't outclass them niggas. But as a thing is that the women that's going after those hood niggas shouldn't be the woman that you want. Because if they're going after the hood niggas, what makes you attracted to her? She has to be have some type of hood qualities about her. Just like how they saying that those women are choosing poo-poos and ray-rays, we choosing Shaniquas. We shouldn't be choosing the Shaniquas. Choose the Alexis, Allison. You know what I'm saying? All the other black girl names that's actually cool, like that actually be paying attention in school and shit. Why we don't choose the better options as female, as men? Why we don't choose the better female options? Think about it that way. Because you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we going after the ones that's going after the hood niggas, right? Think about it.
Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think
it's facts, and it's facts. I ain't gonna lie. It's facts only because of the reason that we are like the final step. We are the final boss. They could go through the kids. They could go through the women. But as men, we are the final step. We are the ones gonna step on front line if we're defending the fam. We're the ones gonna be going to war if it's a war. Men at the end of the day is the last step. Once they beat the man, once they get the man out the households, once they beat the man, they beat the people. Simple as that. Take the leaders out and you win a war. It's known facts. So at the end of the day, if he's saying that it's on us, it's on us. Because it is. If we the last step, if we the leader, it's got to be on us. Leaders don't be mad about shit being on them. They used to shit being on them.
Well, two different
people who winning every day used to taking L's because they done took L's to get to where they at. That's how I go.
accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to do.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women, women with children.
Why is she masculine?
He didn't say
because she's had to.
But he didn't say deal with the masculine women. He didn't say to deal with the women that's going after the poo-poos and the ray-rays or whatever they say. He didn't say that. And I definitely didn't say that. I said don't go after those. Go after the other women that be cool, minding their own business. Go after those, because I tell you right now, the same amount of women that was going after hood niggas, the same amount of females that was going after hood niggas when I was in school, it was the same amount of women that was cool. Literally. But who you chasing after? You know what? That's what it depends on.
Raise the kids alone, not one woman,
So
brother.
you mean to tell me
a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I can look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children. And when I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad. I mean you as an active member in the community.
And it's crazy because I did not know Umar had 2 kids. I didn't know I don't know how many kids he got, but he says he has 2 daughters. He's not married. He a poo-poo and ray-ray, basically. Is what
I don't mean you as the stepdad. I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking him to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with him every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and having to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand I understand.
It's just the way that he putting it. I ain't gonna lie, because if you think about it, and as a man, if you want a woman that was like your mama, how was your daddy? Think about that. Cause I don't be hearing niggas saying, I want to be like my daddy. I don't be hearing that. The most shit I be hearing is niggas saying, I wanna be like how my daddy wasn't. I hear most niggas saying that. So at the end of the day, if people saying they want a woman like they mom, but they don't want to be like they dad, that mean your dad was fucked up. Your dad was the one that was fucked up, right? Think about it.
Understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking
You
nothing
have
back from
yet to
that.
tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you keep saying me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
Women and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say she had a couple kids already because she met men.
Why you
she
going
probably
after
thought
her?
they was good. Some of them, they left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, brother.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're
You
making
understand?
assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
So you say.
No,
come on, man.
no.
Nah. Come
Hold
on.
all women accountable.
So you say.
Listen, like I said, I feel like as a black
We
man,
don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all three.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
I
but
can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that,
But
if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
black women
That's
do
only
not. No, you're
that's
wrong.
percentages
You're
apart.
wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm
That's
not
wrong.
saying that, but the percentages
Black
ain't that
women,
far off. That's what I'm
black
saying.
women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates.
Mm-hmm.
But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing
And
interracially.
black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay. But what
That has no value.
it does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And
Closer
like
to
I
3/4,
said,
but,
when
yeah.
I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house,
Yeah.
but I know it's not enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women.
So Umar's argument is that they want the women to be accountable, but they're not even accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you want her to be accountable for choosing the wrong man, okay, she can be accountable, but she done already had that baby with a man that wasn't there. So that automatically lowers her, you know what I'm saying? That automatically lowers her grade immediately to men like this. Let her make that decision twice before she understood accountability. Because at the end of the day, accountability is understanding it and not doing it again. But that means that you 9 times 10, you already made the decision. You already made the mistake. You know what I'm saying? So accountability doesn't work in a way where you accountable for it and it just deletes what you did. It's still there forever. And the men have to understand that. So you talking to a female that's been had the kids before you came in her life, before you trying to go in her life. If you know that you don't like kids, my nigga, why you even trying to go to her? Just go to somebody else that don't have kids. Simple. Like that's how simple it is to do. And then the men that don't mind kids go to her as long as she realize the truth and know how to put herself out there in a you know what I'm saying, in a proper way. Simple.
Argue with women
Who are making babies with the irresponsible women.
I argue with women
Who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp ass weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
That's crazy too. That's a
Not
fact.
enough.
I know what I'm doing
That's a
about
fact.
it. I'm building
agree.
a school for it, 2 of them. But systemically, as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men
Facts.
doing about that?
Not
The
as much.
Pookie and Ray
Not
Ray
as
you
much.
kept talking about? We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize her for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
Dealing
that
with
could,
individualism
that could,
again. I can't
but that's
deal with
part
that.
of choices.
No, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we?"
That would be the only way to fix it is systemically. That's facts. That individualism will not fix the situation when we have to work. Literally, as black people, we have to work together to fix it because that would be the only way we can fix what we doing. Literally, that's the only way.
Well, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved? It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you.
And
We're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Hey, it's hard.
Listen,
it's hard.
I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't
That's
mind us
hard.
holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah.
But when we going to hold the system accountable as well?
That's
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest
Every generation of men has been getting weaker and weaker. Facts. I ain't lying.
that black men take on the role of leadership
especially when there's an attack on black masculinity
without women willing to listen to us? You get what I'm saying? How do we prove our worth or take back the
Take care
leadership
of the boys.
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys.
Yeah.
They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back.
That's true.
Give them jobs, give them education, give them training, give them your time. They not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
like I said,
Create
we
the product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
she could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
It's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother, because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's
And that's
not individual.
understandable.
You're an
But
individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
And the only system that's needed is for black men to be more active within the community. That's it. Black men just got to be more active in the community, dog.
I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another
But
woman.
that doesn't solve community problems. We're talking about community solutions. That's individualism.
That's fair. Let me get to this last topic before we get.
Hey, that was it, man. Look, what y'all think about that video, bro? It was cool, but nigga just, at the end of the day, either a nigga gonna understand what he's saying or a nigga not gonna understand it. You know what I'm saying? And if you understand what I was saying, understand what Umar was saying, I understand what everybody on the panel was saying because I get what nigga's saying. But at the end of the day, it's always accountability. If you telling a female to be accountable, nigga, you gotta make sure you accountable too. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I could tell a female to be accountable because I'm accountable for my actions too. I'm accountable for men too as well. That's what my platform is for, is to help us as a whole. Not just black people, but anybody that's not watching my channel. Because I'm not a colorist. Just because you white don't mean I can't fuck with you, for. It is what it is. As long as you ain't do nothing to me, I ain't gonna do nothing to you, you feel me? Appreciate you for watching the vid though, man. I got 3 vids on the screen right now. Before you click off though, make sure you subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Be sure to tune in on my other platforms so I can tune in with you, man. Stay up, be blessed. Have a good one before you click out. Appreciate you for watching the vid. Have a good one. Peace.